Welcome to Open BxRx Tuesday on BronxNet. I'm your host, Kibin Alleyne, and I'd like to invite you to get social with us at BronxNet TV on Instagram and Twitter, and BronxNet Community Television on Facebook. Creatives Rebuild New York aims to highlight local artists through the CRNY Artist Employment Program. 300 artists will work with community-based organizations, and BronxNet is proud to be one of them. Joining me to discuss their work today is Trisha Gianakis. Trisha, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. So nice to be here.
Of course. So I want to just talk about the CRNY project first. Can you just let everybody know, how did you get involved with that project?
Well, I got involved through it through FIT. They recommended me. I used to teach at FIT. I've taught augmented reality in their XR program at the university there.
And can you just explain what actually inspired you to say, I actually want to be a part of a program like this?
Well, I really feel it's important for me to give back to the community. I'm a cancer survivor. I've had many hardships in my life that I've had to overcome, and by the grace of God, I'm alive today, and I want to just give back.
Now, I want to talk about the project because I think this is really cool. Your project is about discovering the rich history of the Bronx using augmented reality. Can you just tell us a little bit more about the overall project?
Well, the Bronx is so amazing, and I don't think enough people know how rich the history is. It's one of the greatest cities in the world. I mean, so many famous people are from the Bronx. There's famous artists from the Bronx. Hip hop was invented in the Bronx. It has one of the largest parks in New York City. I mean, it's just an incredible place, and I think that it will empower the people of the Bronx to even know this history themselves.
Now, I want to talk a little bit more about that inspiration, because I do feel like a lot of people, when they're from the Bronx, they either kind of keep it quiet that they're from the Bronx, and then you do have the other side where people are very, proud to be from the Bronx. But, why did you also want to just kind of like show more love to the Bronx?
Well, I'm a New York girl. And I just, it's such an amazing place, and there's so many opportunities here. I think that when people from the Bronx find out all this history and how they can just accomplish anything if they put their mind to it, and just knowing that so many great people have come from the Bronx, it just really helps create an energy and an excitement about the city.
Now, I'm really excited to talk about your project because you're using different forms of art, and some of them, I don't know if they would be considered art, but I think it's cool that we're like meshing, technology with art. Can you just tell me a little bit more about the different forms of art you're using to connect Bronxites to their history?
Well, I've been teaching augmented reality and 3D animation, and I work with artificial intelligence. I work with 3D volumetric scanning. So like if I wanted to scan a statue, such as, the Pichielli brothers are from the Bronx, and many people don't know, these men carved the Abraham Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. They carved over 600 statues. I mean, that's incredible. So I'm going to be going to the Lincoln Memorial with my 3D scanning equipment, and I'm going to scan the actual statue, and then I can place it using geo-targeting technology. And when people get my little handout or whatever, they scan the QR code, it'll launch the website, and they'll get to see the statue in real life size on the block where the Pichielli studio was, where they created these statues. There's so many, like the New York Public Library. I mean, just they've created the lions.
Oh, wow,
yes,
cool.
yes. I mean, when you hear about all the statues they made, you're like, oh my God, I know that. I've seen that 100 times, right?
That's amazing. Now, can you just explain, you may have explained it a little bit. So are you saying that is what augmented reality is, or can you give us a definition for those who don't know what that is?
Sure. Augmented reality is a way of overlapping digital files on top of the physical world. And you're seeing it all the time. I guess, there's been a lot of movies that have covered augmented reality, like the Minority Report, with Tom Cruise. Like when you think about all that overlaying digital things, well, now it's getting so much more advanced. And, glasses are being invented where you can switch on, like Free Guy. That's the latest movie with augmented reality. And when you look through your phone or an iPad, you can actually reveal other content that's overlaid. And did you ever play Pokemon Go?
I didn't, but it was super popular, and I know a lot of people who did. Yeah.
Well, that's augmented reality.
Oh, wow.
So that's probably the easiest way to explain it.
That's really cool. Now, why did you want to incorporate these elements of technology into your project?
Well, technology is my passion. I have a master's degree from School of Visual Arts in Manhattan in computer art and installation art. I created one of the first VR experience for my master's thesis in 1999. So I've been following the technology since it was invented. I've always been just immersed in whatever technology I can get my hands on. I just kind of like absorb it like a sponge, and I want to share it. It just empowers everyone and helps the community even more if people just know how to use the technology.
No, I think this is super amazing and exciting. Can you let people know how they can support your project? And when they support you, what is that going towards?
Well, I'm trying to raise money to buy equipment to create the project, and then I'll also have to do promotional advertising. Flyers that we're going to hand out that are going to have the QR codes. Plus, I'm going to have to get into these places to scan, whatever statues. And I hope to try to reach out to some of the celebrities like J-Lo is from the Bronx. I'd love to get her involved somehow, maybe create a augmented reality filter that you could wear or have her next to you in a greeting even. That would be really cool. So how people can help me is I'm raising money for my project, and my goal right now is $2,500. I'm 1/3 of the way there. So on the BronxNet.org website, if you click on the CRNY artist profile, you'll get to a page, and mine's the Augmented Reality Project, where you can discover the rich history of the Bronx through augmented reality, the exploration of the Bronx Immersive Media Guide.
Now, I think this is so cool. And even right now during this interview, I'm like, wow, technology has been a part of art for quite some time. And, we're so used to thinking about like just painting or, like traditional forms of art. Can you explain just how you feel like kind of meshing these two things together, or kind of like being the door that opens, art into technology?
Well, I've been combining technology with my physical art for many years now. I do raku sculpture, and I use found objects. I combine fiber optic wire with my pieces. And for the shows that I've been having, I've been combining augmented reality to help tell more of a story. So I think that for artists are storytellers. We're telling a story, or we're trying to make you feel an emotion. For me, most of my stuff is conveying my emotions through my cancer survivor story. So I think that artists are always trying to get you to open your eyes and see or feel something really important that they're trying to say. And with augmented reality, it just really helps that story move along even more so, because when you're experiencing something, even in education, your retention rate is like 90% higher if you're not just when you're experiencing it. So, reading, there's a certain percentage. Hearing, it gets a little higher, But when you combine all, the senses of the visual elements combined with the storytelling, it's people hold that memory. They remember it, and it just is a better experience, I think.
And then now, can you just explain the importance of providing this type of access to this type of technology, to people here in the Bronx?
Well, this is a great opportunity for people in the Bronx, because what is being offered here is free for the people of the community here. And it's empowering. And, not only are we creating this art experience, but I just finished teaching a 8-session course on augmented reality. I'm going to be teaching some creating art in virtual reality in the spring as well, using the VR headsets. So I use all the technologies combined. But this is the future. And the more people can embrace this technology, they'll be ahead of the rest of people who are not using this technology. So it actually will give the people of the community an edge for getting jobs or creating their own art or having a louder voice to say what they want to say and what they feel.
Right. Now, speaking of feelings, we have about a minute left. Can you just say what you hope people will feel or learn from your project?
Well, I want people to learn how great the Bronx is. I think that there's an opportunity here for a worldwide reach to bring more tourism, to bring more revenue into the Bronx. I also believe that it's going to inspire young kids when they see the possibilities.
And I'm glad that you brought up children, because I think this will appeal to so many different age groups. Can you just talk about just how cool that is? You may have somebody who's, a little bit more older, and then you may have a child, both who probably never experienced this type of technology. Can you talk about the importance of that?
It's so amazing to see their eyes light up, because I show this at my art shows. I just did a art fair trade show a couple of weeks ago, and I had little kids coming in, and I was like, do you want to see something cool? And I showed them with my phone. I had a golden unicorn jumping out of my raku skulls that I had created. At first it was like, oh, it's a skull. But no, they saw the persona of the life of a living creature behind that. So it's fascinating to the kids. It's their world. A lot of kids do gaming. So when you think about that, this only makes sense. This actually is their world.
Right. That's amazing. Well, Trish, thank you so much for joining us and talking about this. I'm really excited to learn more about your project.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
And I'm excited for you to see it.
Now, don't forget, if you would like to support Trish's project, please go to www.bronxnet.org/donate/CRNY-artists. Don't go away. We have more open right after this.